I want you to ponder for a moment. How many children have you seen that are all the time with a phone or tablet? What impact it could have in their life as children? I remember an experience with my brother's son, who since a very early age knew how to use the phone, but only for entertainment purposes. At first, it could have been seen as a way to keep the child entertained and not interrupt his parents. But it was a damage to his development as a child. He wasn't able to interact with other children. He also couldn't perform well at school. He was very shy, and he also couldn't keep focus on what he was doing. And every time he was taking the phone away, he would get angry. Today, I want to convince that parents should set boundaries in screen time with their children. I discuss the negative effects of excessive screen usage and why this is a serious problem in some children. And finally, what parents should do in order to avoid those consequences. With this in mind, let's understand the issue deeper. The number of children who are using the phone most of the day is very high. As a consequence, there are more low performance students and children with better behavior. According to Mayo Clinic, some students can be focused on their homework. They also don't go further the topic they learn. They just keep stuck to what is taught at school because they want to spend more time with their phone, so they just leave aside their responsibility or maybe they just do it and go straight to using the phone. Also, some children experience negative behavior with their parents or are unable to socialize with other children. In order to prevent children from being addicted to the phone, there are some things that parents could do. According to the article We Have Kids, parents could set boundaries in their children in order to reduce their exposition to the screen. Parents could also invite their children to activities outside in order for their children to explore beyond the phone. It means the real world, to know about the world that surrounds them. Parents could also help their children interact with other children to develop their interpersonal communication, which is something essential that they will use along their life. The specific situation, in order to be a solution, is to avoid children to be exposed to the phone for a long time, phone or tablet or laptop. Instead, they use that time to do activities in order for them to use all their energy. Doing so, children will get more curious about the real world. They will be healthy and develop their physical abilities, as well as their interpersonal communication, which is something, as I said, very essential in life. So setting boundaries prevent children to waste their time in things that are not valuable for them at all. Inviting children to activities outside help them realize that the real world is more fantastic than just being at home with a device and being in a virtual world that doesn't afford to like anything. According to Yellow Brick Road, children interaction with other children is essential in order for them to communicate, to interact with others, and become better at group activities. Some parents may think you shouldn't limit your children, since doing so, your children will be more rebellious. At first, or in some way, it could have been seen as a thought that is true, but it's where the ability to raise your children effectively play an important role. This is because you can make the use of technology in children an advantage for them to utilize their tactile creativity. Therefore, it's crucial to make children see the real world and that there is more things beyond the screen. Let's compare what could happen if we set boundaries and what could happen if we don't set boundaries. Imagine that you have a child or you have children. Would you let them be the whole time using the phone? If parents let the children do this, children won't develop the necessary skills to communicate with others. They won't get to explore the real world. They won't establish relationships. They won't have the opportunity to develop their skills. But if parents allow them, children to have boundaries, I mean, if parents set boundaries on their children, of course, children will get those opportunities to develop their skills, to improve their interpersonal communication, etc. So that's a great advantage for the development as undoubtedly, as parents, it's a great responsibility to take care of children and guarantee their development. So it's time to take action. It's essential for children not to be the whole time using a device, but to do other activities. Let's keep in mind that they are in an age to discover so many things and learn a lot. So they are like sponges that can absorb everything that surrounds them. They should develop their skills doing physical activities, training their mind. They are exposed to the screen, but not only for entertainment, but to learn so many other things. They should train their mind with activities that are beneficial for them in order to perform their best in their practice. So it's time to teach children things that are valuable for them, develop their skills, the things they like the most, and benefit them. Parents should never isolate their children or let them isolate themselves with activities to other children, but to incentive them to establish good relationships with others. Doing so, children will reach their best version of themselves, and of course, as a consequence, have a better perception of the world that surrounds them. Thank you very much.